Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline and today's day 13 of 30 days commitment to embodiment journey. Listen, okay, listen. Today I want to talk about, you've embodied that new version of yourself when it just comes to you and you don't need to do anything extra about it. Let me give you an example. Listen, look at me. I'm in my PJs. I got my hair bonnet on, okay? My night bonnet. Why do I look like this while I'm filming this video? It's because I woke up, and usually when I wake up, I have these different exercises. Well, not exercises, but I have these rituals, this routine. Hold on. Now the cat wanna, hold on. Okay, my bad. So in the morning when I wake up, usually I have this ritual, okay? This morning routine or ritual where I do, my gratitude. I do my visualization, my SAT scene, okay? The exercise by Neville Goddard from the Law of Assumption. I do all kinds of different things. I don't touch my phone. I don't touch my phone till after. So, I wake up, I do my things. I come upstairs, brush my teeth, do my hygiene routine. Then I go and do my water, the tea, the coffee. And then while the coffee is brewing, that's when I go back downstairs, get dressed, and then I come upstairs, make my coffee, go out on the porch, okay? And that's when I officially open my phone, all right? Matter of fact, actually, I touched my phone before that just to either hit snooze or thank you alarm clock, I'm up. But that's it. Outside of that, I don't touch my phone easily for the first hour, hour and a half that I'm up, okay? Not this morning though. I woke up, and let me tell you, I woke up. Okay, my alarm clock woke me up, but when I woke up, I was inspired, okay? I'm opening my, well, I already opened a Substack account, but I'm setting it up, okay? So I opened the account, but I haven't posted yet. I haven't set it up yet. But since yesterday, I've been starting doing that and went to bed. This morning, I woke up inspired. When I tell you the information was flooding my being, not just my mind, my whole being. So much so, I was like, oh my God, I can't do all my usual, in bed routine of, the SAT scene, the gratitude, all that jazz. Now, I gotta act on this now. At this moment, I gotta do something about it right now, okay? So it was just inhabiting me in a way that it absolutely demanded, required of me to do something about it at this very moment, okay? And kind of like when you got to go to the bathroom, either for a number one or a number two, and it's like, yo, if you don't go now, it's gonna happen right where you are. So you better find a bathroom ASAP, like at this moment. Find a bathroom because this has to come out. It has to come out. So I grabbed my phone. I was still in bed. I grabbed my phone, something I never do. You really do not do. Grabbed my phone immediately and started writing. I was typing. I didn't have time to grab my notebook and write by hand. No, this had to happen quick. So I was like, typing. All the information that was in me, I was like, oh my God, it has to come out at this very moment. Once I got the first big wave, like the tsunami level wave of inspiration out of my body, out of my being, and onto the phone, that's when I grabbed my stuff, ran upstairs. I had to do at least the hygiene thing. And did my water, the herbs, and then the coffee. I didn't go down to change. Either way, I have to go and wash my hair. So I was like, I don't need to get dressed at this very moment, but I waited for my coffee. As I was waiting for my coffee, I kept typing. And then grabbed my coffee, went outside, type some more. it was just flowing out, flowing out, flowing out, flowing out, flowing out. And then once it all came out, I was like, ah. It's like, okay, it all came out. Kind of like when you go to the bathroom, you know that feeling once you've released whatever had to be released, and you have this sense of relief, like, oh, okay, good, finally. That's how it felt. That's how it felt. And then I was like, all right, let me, I was texting my mama. Like, I couldn't even reply to her. I would see her messages come in and, she's not saying anything like urgent or whatever. So I was like, okay, mama, in a few. I would see messages from a few friends. I'm like, not yet. I had to stay on it, And then once that came out, like I said, that's when I started replying to a couple of people. But I had to stay with it. And for me, this is for me, but I share it with you because maybe this is also your experience, or maybe this is something that you might experience, whatever. But for me, this is how I know for a fact that I'm fully embodied, at least in the sense of I'm tapped in. I know there's still stuff that's like moving around in my energetic field, realigning itself with what I envision. Yes, I know there's still work happening in the background behind the curtains, but as far as knowing that I'm definitely on the right path is because it flows out of me like water out of a faucet. You turn on the faucet and the water just flows out, right? If you hear noise in the background, it's those animals. The cat is on it this morning. Bubby, you want to meet Bobby? Come here, Bobs. Here's Bobby. He's like, girl, if you don't let me go, Bobby net. He's such a sweetheart. But he's with the shits this morning. Anywho, this is how I know for a fact. Because, how can I say this? I didn't have to do anything extra. Okay, now I got a cat hair in my mouth. I didn't have to do anything extra for it to flow out. I didn't have to do techniques or, I didn't have to tap into my regular morning ritual. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love to do that exercise and I will do it again. But at least as far as knowing that I'm on the right path, the way that everything just flew, how can I say this? How it all flowed, yeah, out of me with such ease. It was effortless. The only thing that required effort was to like type it on the phone, is to take it from within me and bringing it outside of me. That's the only effort it required. And even then it's not effort because I wanted to do it because, oh my God, I have to do something about this, I know I'm in the right lane. I'm embodied. I am her. She is me. Like we're like this. We're in tune. Hold on. Jojo. Now it's the dog. And this is how maybe you will know for yourself as well. You might wake up in the morning or any moment of the day. You might just be chilling at the end of the night or going for a walk during your lunch break. Whatever it is, you could just be sitting outside, reading a book, whatever. You could be cooking your meal. And then it just floods your being. Like, we are vessels, okay? We are vessels. And you channel it. It channels within you. It channels like right through you. It's downloaded right into you. Like a wave of energy just flows through you. And you can't fight it. It's like falling in love, ascending in love. It's like ascending in love. Has that ever happened to you? This happened with my current boyfriend. With my man, the moment we looked at each other in the eyes, I knew, and he told me that he also knew as well. We both knew the moment we looked at each other like, oh, there's something here. And then, one thing after the other, it all just came naturally. But when that happens, it's like you don't have to put in some type of work for it. It just floods right through you very naturally, very easily. That's a major sign that the embodiment, at least the roots are very much, the roots are rooted. You're anchored. The roots are starting to run real deep because now you're tapping into these underground waters of your being, of that embodiment. You've tapped into them, like the roots just, okay? And now they are drinking from the source of your embodiment, of that energy that represents your embodiment. And it just comes to you naturally. You are fed by it on an energetic and physical level. You feel it. That's how you didn't have to affirm, you didn't have to pray, you didn't have to robotic affirm, you didn't have to script or journal or, do any type of, ritual under the moon, under the full moon, and, do a honey jar. Nothing. It just, the alignment is complete at the very foundational level of it. And then it's just a question of acting on the inspiration, act on the inspiration, act on the inspiration, act on the inspiration. Take inspired action, take inspired action, take inspired action. When it comes through you, it doesn't matter what you look like. Look at me. I'm in my PJs, y'all. Okay? I'm in my PJs. I didn't give a shit. I was like, I gotta get up and do this now. Even filming this video, I felt it in me. I knew it was in my spirit while I was writing, typing the stuff that I had to type that came, that flood that came through me. I knew I had to do that. That was urgent, immediate, going to the bathroom. And it's like, if I don't go now, no bueno, okay? I knew I had to act on that immediately. And as I was doing it, this other thought came through of, talk about that in today's video. Of this. And I was like, okay, that's next. But it wasn't as urgent as typing everything that I had to do. But see, I didn't think, oh, let me go get dressed, let me go and look cute for the video. No, act on it right now. It doesn't matter how I look. That is not important. It's not about the messenger and the background setup and everything, the animals making noise. That doesn't matter. It's about the message. It's not about the messenger. It's about the message and the message that wants to flow through me. It is not Caroline. It is not me. It's something else. Call it whatever you want. Source, divine, consciousness. You can call it whatever you want. But once it comes through, you gotta act on it immediately. Okay? This inspiration in spirit, it's spiritual. It's beyond your logic, your logical brain, your logical mind. It goes beyond that. It surpassed that. You're tapping into something much, much more mystical. And it just flows through unapologetically. It doesn't need explanation. It doesn't need to be broken down into science. It just is. And when it comes through, act on it immediately. So when you have these moments, these moments where it just comes in and you didn't ask, well, I mean, you're doing your embodiment exercises, rituals, etc. You're doing the techniques, all that jazz. Yes. But when it comes through naturally like that, this is how you know. Like I said, the roots are rooted. You've tapped in. Other things can happen in the background. Other things can still be rearranging themselves. 3D hasn't caught up yet necessarily. That doesn't matter. You just know you're tapped in. You have fully embodied that version of yourself. And those are hella huge signs. If you needed a sign, that's it. If you needed to see movement, that's it. But don't keep it just dormant. Don't hold it in. Let it out. Let it flow out. act on it. And from there, you'll see magic will happen. I already know. I don't expect, I know magic will happen from everything that came through today. That's why I'm acting on it. That's why I had to sit down, write it all up. Then I'll do, what I got to do. Wash my hair, have breakfast, all that jazz. But later on, I can sit with everything that's already been written. It's out of my system. It's on paper, on the phone. And then I'll do the things that I got to do with them, like from a much more calmer spirit. And then my logical brain can tap in as well, participate in what has to be done to make it all make sense and all that stuff, put it out there, etc., and so on and so forth. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I don't need to give you an update because that was the update too. Okay, I live it in real time, all right, with you here now. This is what happened to me, and that's how I knew this was the message for me to share with you today. So let me know if that happened to you. I mean, this was not my first time this happened to me. It happened to me in different ways when I was teaching yoga full time. I'm talking about like 6 classes per day, 5 classes per day, 6 days a week. I was inhabited by yoga sequences because then I was a yoga asana teacher, a yoga teacher, like, of posture sequences. That's what my classes were mainly about. And that's how it is in the Western world of yoga, okay? It's mainly yoga asanas to the point where it's now fitness yoga. We'll have that in a whole different conversation, okay? But all this to say that when I used to teach like that, I was inhabited by physical sequences. I would dream of it. I would wake up in the middle of the night and like, I have to teach the sequence. And I would write it down in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Just wake up and type it into my phone or write it onto paper. Inhabited by that spirit. But now I've expanded to a different version of myself as a yoga teacher. And now I see how the inspiration flows through. Like I'm vibrating at that frequency and it's like flowing through me with ease. Okay, like some barriers that I had have been removed. Okay, when I was in the in-between, I talked about that in another video, when you're changing radio stations, when you go from, let's say, 900 FM to 1000 FM to 1000 FM. In the between, there might be some static, that white noise. You hear some sounds in the background because it's either from the 900 FM station or the 1000 FM station, Sometimes you're still in that white noise space, okay, as you're tuning yourself to the new version of yourself. As you're tuning up, tuning in, there might be some white noise. Things are just replacing themselves so that once you hit that frequency, it's clear sound. It's clear as day. Like, oh, I'm here, and now it is done. It is truly done. Like, yes, it's done in your mind, in your spirit, it's done in your heart, but everything else just came. Everything else just came and aligned perfectly with it. So I've experienced that before. I know you have as well. Maybe in different phases of your life, whatever you wanted to tune into at that time of your life, it would just flood in easily. Tell me about those examples of that happening in your life. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'm going to wrap it up for today. So if you watch all the way to the end, thank you so much for being here. If this resonated with you, if this is your vibe, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow for day 14. We're going to talk about techniques because I mentioned it today. So we'll touch on that tomorrow, okay? Techniques are here to help. And we'll talk about it. All right? On that note, have yourself an amazing day, an amazing embodied day. And remember, take action on the inspiration. Take action on the inspiration. When it comes, don't play with it. Act on it. Do it now. All right? Please. Just want to give you a little side note. The inspiration doesn't always show up like this, like what I explained. This morning was like a huge flood. There was nothing to do about it. I had to act on it. Sometimes it comes out as a little whisper. Sometimes it's small. It's a little nudge. It's your inspiration just being very quiet, like, girl, do this. Boy, just go and do that. Sometimes it comes in very softly, but you gotta attune to your Intuition, you have to have a clear communication with it so you can really hear it and listen to it and act on it. So it shows up in different ways, not always as a big, like, thing. Sometimes it's just a little whisper.